Good evening everybody. Just thought I'd quickly just do a very quick live recording just to go through some of the final details in regards to the wet on wet process that this little cupcake exercise will enable you to do. It's very simple, very effective. Just take some practice because you just do need to have a little bit of practice at it, otherwise it can become a little bit muddy. But you'll be surprised that when you start mixing different colours, just what kind of effect you can have on your work. So here's the little cupcake that I've done, and that's the very basic shape that you need to be working with. So to draw it out, you pretty much start with the cherry on the top of the cupcake, and then it's almost like a little bobble hat type shape, and then you can then put what essentially is the bottom of a cloud along the bottom of it. Add in your sides, just bringing them in just ever so slightly so it's not so square, and then just put a rounded bottom on the base of your cupcake. So here's one that I've just very quickly sketched out just before I've started this recording. And as I said in the video, but it wasn't really 100% clear, what I need you to do is I don't need you to go straight on with water and then the paint. What you need to do is, loading your brush up with some clean water, is go straight with the water to your piece of work. So just fill in the outline using the water. Now try not to oversaturate your paper because otherwise that's when it can sort of bubble up and shrink and become quite difficult to manage. But if you just gently, using the water, just fill in the base of your cupcake. And then when you start to add the paint, you will notice how differently the paint moves around on the piece of paper. So we'll go straight in now, that's wet. And I'm just going to use a very light brown. And I'm just going to come down this side. And can you see how instantly you've got that lovely, soft, textured effect on the base of your cupcake? And then it's using this technique that you can then build the detail at the bottom of the cupcake. Because so as you can see, going back to my original example, the colours that I've used here, I've got some pink, I've got some green, I've got the brown, I've got some yellow, and it just together, it all then sort of merges and makes quite a nice subtle effect. Don't colour block the entire base of the cupcake. As you can see, I've actually got some empty pieces of paper there where it's just covered in the water. So we'll just take some pink on the brush, and the pink I will start coming back down the other way. So again, just working in those nice soft lines, just bring the pink down through the design. Okay, now we'll be brave and we'll put a little bit of blue. So again, you can just take some of the excess off if you wish, but we'll just come down the side with a little bit of blue. Can you see how that then runs? And if it becomes too heavy, like it has done there at the bottom, just dry your brush off, and with a thirsty brush, that will literally just take up that blue and just soften it ever so slightly for you. Okay, so we'll just take a little bit of the blue detailing just through the base of the design, just being very gentle. Like I say, trying to get used to using a little bit of a smaller brush, but also just adding those little final details in, just to create that light wash. Okay, So when it comes to the actual cupcake part, what I need you to do, again, just clean the brush off and just using just water alone, we'll just colour in the top of the cupcake. And then we'll just do the little blobby bits. There I am again with my sophisticated language. Okay. So for the cupcake, I've actually used blue, and I've also used some pinks, and I've also used just a little bit of grey as well. So we'll just add those colours in. So starting at the top, and if it is a little bit too damp, then just take your brush, a dry brush, and it will just take that water up. There we go. So we shall drop in some blue at the top. And again, you just literally need just to dab it into the water and just push the pigmentation just around your piece of work. Can you see how soft and fluid that's become? And then I'm just going to add in just a little bit of pink now. Again, just being very, very loose and just working that pigment through the design. The whole idea of this little exercise is to just be working on layers of colour, depth of colour, but also the wet on wet technique, which is completely different than the wet on dry, which is the usual way we use the watercolours. So you can see the effect that that's had on the piece of work, how the blue and the pink has all sort of merged together. And then I shall just finish, I'll just do the cherry, but I'm going to do the cherry wet on dry, so it's going to have a denser colour. And can you see straight away the difference of the paint compared to it going on a wet surface? So there you go. So it's from this point that you can then build up your design and have some fun with your cupcake. So this one, I've used darker colours of purple and just taken the lines through it as you gradually work on the piece of the practice piece. This one has a lot of green in it, again with the blue and the pink and the grey. And then this one is a little bit paler, but it has the yellow and the pink. So you'll find your own way of doing it, and you'll be able to have some fun with it. But that's literally the first part of the process, and it's from this point that we build up the colours. So you end up with something that should look like that when it's dry. So I hope you enjoy having a play over the coming days. I would love to see your cupcake designs, and I would love to see what you actually produce. I must admit, I'm loving doing these little videos and these tutorials. I'm having a great time, so I really do hope that that you're enjoying it too. Have some fun, be creative. If you have any questions whatsoever, then please just send me a message, and I'll be more than happy to help. But I hope this just gives you that little bit of clarification with regarding of the process wet on wet. Have a lovely evening, have fun, and I will see you very, very soon indeed. Bye.